one thing COVID did for me was get me down here to do some songwriting, but it also gave me a chance to experiment with different pedals and work out which ones I was going to use the most to make a record with. And I put together this little pedal board, and there's an old Nobles pedal on here that it's a vintage one that Tommy Manuel gave me years ago. He reckons it used to belong to Steve Lukather, and it sounds amazing. And one thing that it proved to me was that it's just such a beautiful dynamic pedal for more rock and roll style songs. So I wanted to write a song just about a couple of people that obviously had a big love for the town, but they also had this hate for it at the same time. And I came down to the studio one morning and I sort of got on the drum kit and started messing around with a bit of a drum feel and things, but it sort of started out as like a... that little riff down and just put some chords down. Didn't have any lyrics at all. I didn't know where the actual song was going. But when I started to think about where I wanted to take it, I wanted to bring it back to my youth, I think, as a teenager, and where there were cars showing up in the main street of Grafton, and there was just this incredible feeling of a Saturday night where cars that would roll up, they were just black or they were white, whatever they were just shiny and looked after. And everyone wanted to pull up and talk about what they'd done to their car that week. And these sorts of songs really figure heavily, I suppose, in my youth, because we all came from that same small town thing where you're almost running out of streets to drive, but you always find your way back to that main drag. So A Heart Too Big for This Town, I threw it in the mix. I didn't know whether it'd make it, but when Matt Fell heard the song, he said, I think this has got just great potential as a live song. And it's nice to have a producer like Matt give you the encouragement to step outside your box. My box basically has been country music, and I love where I sit, but sometimes it's great to have someone to just encourage you to step out and be the guitar player in the band again. And if there's one thing I must say about recording this record, when I was sitting in there with Josh on drums and we had Chris over there on another guitar and Matt playing bass, I could look through the glass and it felt like I was actually at a rehearsal with an old band from school. We all knew each other pretty well, and we just knew we were playing for the one common goal, and that was to make some music. So to be able to really rap out on the soloing on this particular record as well is something that I think that I really got the most enjoyment out of. And I can't wait to share a bit more of what I am as a guitar player and a musician with everyone as well.
Too big for this town. Too big for this town.